We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. We are set to learn more about the mayor's new youth curfew today. There is a meeting to discuss how it will be enforced before it goes into effect this weekend. And if you're heading to Ocean City for the long weekend, you may want to gas up sooner than later. We're going to show you just how much gas prices are rising ahead of the holiday weekend. And will the weather cooperate with your outdoor plans? Meteorologist Amy Aronson has your holiday forecast. That's all coming up. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. Just in, a Baltimore woman says she is fighting to get her house back after losing it over a $193 bill. It's a bill she says she didn't even owe. Ensilla Crawford says she got the bill for mowing work, but the work wasn't done at her home, but at a neighbor's vacant home. Daru Vignaraja, who is representing her, is speaking about the case right now. You can hear her, it sounds like. Let's listen in.
I got a release from that attorney. So I had to...
And what agency exactly is this that you were speaking with?
That was the municipal building down at City Hall. So the next thing I did was reach out to the attorney, and he sent me a settlement amount, which was the $2,350, which I had to pay. And I went ahead and did that that same day. So once he sent me the release, I went down to the city, which was the following day, and paid it off.
Did you, try to explain, I don't even have a line, these aren't my bills, I shouldn't have to pay that?
She didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
All right, we will have continuing coverage on this throughout the day on our Facebook page. You can also visit foxbaltimore.com, and of course we'll have more on Fox 45 News at 4. Taking a live look now over the Inner Harbor, where we are expecting to see crowds this coming Memorial Day weekend. The weekend is also when the mayor's youth curfew plan goes into effect. It follows recent gatherings of large, chaotic crowds downtown. Still, though, there are questions about how the curfew will be enforced. As Olivia Dance shows us, city council members have called for a hearing today to learn more about the mayor's plan. Olivia?
The curfew is set to start this Friday, so just before Memorial Day, and the mayor is also expected to discuss the enforcement plan today. But yesterday, officers were given an order detailing how the curfew will actually be enforced. The order will impact crowds of 10 or more juveniles who are gathered in public places, starting as early as 9 p.m., depending on their age. The order says officers shouldn't take teenagers into custody solely for a curfew violation. Instead, officers are told to ask the youth to leave or offer they be transported to a youth center by a civilian employee. Now, Police Commissioner Michael Harrison writing, quote, "The enforcement of the curfew is not intended to lead to an unnecessary increase in interactions between BPD and the city's young people," end quote. But of course, some are skeptical on if the curfew will actually be successful. Take a listen.
Okay, curfew, but what do we do about the school day? What do we do about the summer day? What do we do about the kids who are committing crimes during the school day, during the noon hours? What about those particular kids? Because that's a real problem.
So I don't know if it will be fully effective. We have to look at the outcome of it. But what I will say, the objective of moving more young people out of harm's way may reduce the homicide rate, and it may in fact reduce the number of young people who are shot.
And some worry the curfew will make things more challenging for the police department, which is already understaffed. City Council is also expected to look at the plan during a public hearing this afternoon. Reporting in the studio, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
We want to know what you think. Is the youth curfew enough to curb the juvenile crime crisis? So far, 99% of those who have voted say no. You can head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in. As the warmer weather starts to return, so do the sounds of illegal dirt bikes. Many residents now frustrated.
They just don't seem to have no respect for the road. They'll stop at this alleyway and they'll zip through there, and they don't even look for traffic or anybody else.
The Baltimore City Police Department says it is going after riders. Under a new enforcement initiative, the department says it has arrested 11 people. Another 17 have been charged. An offender caught in Baltimore City could receive a fine of up to $1,000 or 90 days in jail. Happening today, the caucus of African-American leaders will gather to denounce the efforts of a Severn man who has been carrying his AR-15 near a school bus stop. The man says he's doing it in protest of the state's new gun law, which limits where gun owners can carry their weapons. Parents of students at the school argue it's frightening the kids. Today marks 1 year since the deadly school shooting at Uvalde, Texas. A gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has ordered the state flag to be lowered to half-staff today. And the president will mark the anniversary from the White House with a 3:30 speech. Making headlines today, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set to officially announce he's running for president. He is set to make that announcement during a live discussion with Twitter CEO Elon Musk, who has been a vocal supporter of the Republican governor. The GOP field is already a crowded one. Monday, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott entered the race. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson have also launched campaigns, as has former President Trump. Trump will be forced to split his time between the campaign trail and the courtroom. That's because on Tuesday, a judge set his criminal trial to begin March 25th of next year, right in the thick of presidential primary season. Trump is facing 34 felony counts in that hush money scandal. The New York judge says the trial could last several weeks. The founder of the group Oath Keepers will be sentenced today for his role in the January 6th Capitol attack. Prosecutors are seeking a 25-year sentence for Proud Boys founder Stewart Rhodes. Rhodes and another Oath Keepers leader, Kelly Meggs, were convicted of seditious conspiracy back in November. 11:07, and here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, Baltimore County Police are reminding people to be vigilant. They say as the weather warms up, you often see an uptick in criminals going door to door and impersonating contractors or utility workers. They warn homeowners to never let a stranger inside, no matter what they may be offering. Trending number 2, a new report from Baltimore's Office of the Inspector General finds a city employee lied on their resume. The employee claimed to have a master's degree, and supervisors say she provided transcripts and photos of a diploma. But when the IG's office reached out to the school in question, they were told the employee didn't complete a single semester of school. The employee in question no longer works for Baltimore City. Trending number 3, if you saw smoke this morning over or around BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport, don't worry. It was part of a scheduled training exercise. The airport's fire department held the training exercise this morning. Our cameras caught the smoke rising into the air right when that training started. This was about 7 o'clock. Trending number 4, a big day in sports. The Ravens are back on the practice fields. In a back-and-forth affair, the O's suffer a heartbreaking loss in New York. Switching now to baseball. They lost to the Yankees, but the team plays again tonight at 7:05. Still ahead, doctors say they've uncovered the secret to getting more sleep. I'd like to know that. Coming up, what you might want to remove from your bedroom. And no, it's not your phone. You also might want to take your kid's phone, though. The Surgeon General is out with a new warning about social media and how it impacts kids' health. And in South Carolina, a near total abortion ban is set to become law. The legal fight the law is setting up.
And we are looking at another nice warm afternoon ahead of us, perfect for gardening and yard work with high temperatures headed into the low 80s. But it's not going to last. I am tracking some changes as we get closer to the holiday weekend. I'll break down the changes and let you know what to expect for Memorial Day weekend in a couple of minutes on Fox 45 News Midday at 11.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
11:10, taking a look at your social stream. A bill banning most all abortions is heading to the South Carolina's governor's desk, where he has promised he'll sign it. The bill bans abortion at just 6 weeks. That is before many women even know that they're pregnant. The bill allows exceptions for fatal fetal anomalies, the patient's life and health, rape and incest, but only up to 12 weeks. The new law is expected to tee up a legal fight that could go to the Supreme Court. A lot of reaction about this. You've got Christopher saying this will only lead to higher morbidity and mortality for women in South Carolina. We are leading in so many health conditions that lead to fetal anomalies and conditions. How can our legislators take this path? Signed a concerned maternal fetal medicine expert. And then we've got Byron saying, I'm a Republican and I think this is a little short. Many births still miscarriage naturally past this point. However, if it's a choice between this and late-term abortion, which is advocated by the Dems, then so be it. They took it too far and found out. The U.S. Surgeon General says social media poses a, quote, profound mental health risk for kids. One study shows 12 to 15-year-olds using social media more than 3 hours a day were twice as likely to suffer from depression and anxiety as non-users. This is what you're saying about that, Gladys. Too much of social media primetime prevents kids from socializing and connecting with one another. It is likely to affect their social and emotional intelligence. Can parents monitor time spent by kids on social media? Another one said, just look at Twitter. Social media isn't safe for adults. Well, ahead of the Memorial Day weekend, gas prices are up. According to AAA, the average cost of a gallon of gas in the U.S. is $3.56. That's 2 cents higher than it was on Monday and 3 cents higher than last week. People not liking it already. You got this one saying, not the Memorial Day gas prices showing up today. And another one, can't wait for the long weekend. I've been doing too much, so maybe Miss Joy is willing to pay the price. Well, still ahead, a teacher shortage is prompting schools in one state to consider letting teenagers step in as substitute teachers. What career educators are saying about it. But first, concerns about a plan to open a crematorium in White Marsh, how those who live nearby are pushing back. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1 is Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:13 now on Fox 45 News Midday. We are back with a live look over at Towson. Another warm and sunny day ahead. Coming up in about 5 minutes, our Weather Authority team is letting us know if the conditions will stick around for the Memorial Day weekend. The ongoing battle over the construction of a crematory in a heavy populated White Marsh residential area is heating up.
I'd seriously would think about moving if that was to happen, because it would have such a negative impact on our entire community.
As Shannon Lilly shows us, those living near the site plan to express their concerns at a meeting today.
Well, residents in that area are concerned about their health and safety. In fact, hundreds of them have signed a petition saying their neighborhood is no place for human remains to be cremated. And today is just another opportunity for that discussion to continue. In fact, we want to pull up some details about the meeting that's happening a little bit later on this evening. It's set to start at 6. This is an informational meeting that the Maryland Department of the Environment will be hosting at the White Marsh Volunteer Fire Department, and that's on Philadelphia Road. And again, this is a time for discussion between the company looking to construct this crematory, the MDE, and the citizens of White Marsh. So far, we've heard from both the company and concerned citizens. So let's refresh your memory. Let's hear what they have to say.
Well, my main concern is for all the toxins that are released into the air. The worst is being mercury, and mercury has even minimal amounts. They say it's very harmful to people, especially children and women that are pregnant.
I think part of the problem here is people just don't understand or aren't knowledgeable of cremation. They're on a very small percentage compared to other things that have emissions into the air.
So as you just heard there, Charlie Evans, the owner of Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation, argues the equipment used today in these crematoriums is safe and sound. Not only that, the facility would be heavily regulated by the Maryland Department of the Environment. Still, though, residents in the area fear it could lead to plummeting property values and air pollution they believe could threaten their health. So they are now calling on members of that community to come together and rally for this meeting tonight and to speak out against the construction of a crematory in that area. And of course, we're going to be following that very closely and have any updates on foxbaltimore.com. Reporting this morning, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News.
11:17 and now to today's talking point. A teacher shortage is prompting schools in Michigan to consider letting teenagers step in as substitute teachers. Those 18 and older could fill in for elementary and middle school teachers if they're enrolled in a teacher prep program. Those 21 and older could teach any grade so long as they have a high school diploma. The head of the State Education Association says the shortage needs to be addressed, but teachers aren't sure this is the solution.
If we're taking someone who's 21 years old and just has, 60 college credits or no college credits and asking them to lead a classroom of 18 and 19-year-olds, there's potential for issues there.
The current status quo for Michigan substitute teachers is 60 college credit hours. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. And is 18-year-olds substituting for elementary, middle school, is that the solution to the teacher shortage?
I think this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is asinine. We're dumbing down our kids. We already are providing, first of all, we should be paying these teachers and giving them the best salaries and giving them all the support they need.
That never happened.
Now you're talking about having some kids. Are you crazy? No, that's ridiculous.
I'm not a fan of the idea either. Okay, let me play devil's advocate here. You'll have some that, and maybe that's not even the right phrasing of it. They'll say, well, they're not in there on a full-time. They're the sub in case a teacher calls out. But then you're downplaying what subs do. And sometimes subs offer very, substantive work. They can still manage a class, maybe more than an 18-year-old.
You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. You know what I mean? If you're out there just letting anybody come into our classrooms and get close to your kids, are you kidding me?
Right.
No, you need the very best dealing with our children. I think that's part of the problem.
All right, and then the whole thought about if you're 21, you can do any grade. So now you've got the 21s with the high school students, and they're not that far under them.
No.
That's a strange mix there too.
Strange mix.
All right, Mark.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sure.
Let's head down to Ocean City. That's some fun stuff. Look at that. Pretty sight there. Thousands are going to flock to the beach this weekend. If you are heading down to the coast this weekend, AAA says you should leave as early as possible on Friday because the worst times to be on the road are going to be between 3 and 6 that evening, but the earlier, the better. For a closer look at your Memorial Day forecast, we've got meteorologist Amy Aronson.
Head to the beach where things are looking really, really nice on the boardwalk. If we take a look, I'll put that into motion there. You can see a seagull just flew by. Looks like a pretty day. If you're able to start your weekend early, looks great right now. Unfortunately, the rest of the weekend doesn't look quite as nice. So by Saturday, we are tracking a system offshore that's going to push some clouds and some showers onshore. So cloudy and cool starting Saturday with highs only in the low 60s. Not exactly beach weather there. By Sunday, we throw in that chance for some scattered showers. We stay in the cooler mid-60s, and then by Monday, still a few lingering showers and not exactly feeling like the unofficial start to summer with temperatures in the upper 60s at that point, too. Maybe you're just staying in town this weekend. Looks a little better here, definitely warmer. Upper 70s on Saturday and Sunday, and by the holiday on Monday, we get close to that 80-degree mark. We are also tracking the potential for a few showers, but I think most hold off until Sunday into Monday. Saturday looks like the driest out of the 3 weekend days. Today, we're in good shape. We're at 70 degrees right now with a mix of clouds and sun. So a nice mild start to the day already, and temperatures will continue to warm. I am tracking this cold front to our north. That's going to sink southward. And as it sinks southward, it is going to send us a very, very slim chance for a few showers. More noticeable will be the temperature change coming in behind it. So not too much in terms of impacts from that front. Future scan shows that basically fizzles out by the time it reaches us overnight tonight. Some clouds push through, and that's really about it. We're dry again tomorrow, and it looks like we'll stay dry leading up to the holiday weekend. But I want to move you ahead until the last frame here, Friday night. See the showers to our south. That's the system we're watching. That's what's going to push northward and eventually send that shower chance to the beaches, but also to us right here at home. So let's talk temperatures. As we head through the rest of the week, a little cooler tomorrow. We're back in the mid-70s. We stay there through Friday. Over the weekend, we're back in the upper 70s both days with a few showers showing up Sunday into Monday. Monday, even warmer, though. We're close to 80 degrees, and it looks like temperatures will continue to warm as we near the start of meteorological summer. By the following weekend, it's going to start to feel like it. Temperatures will be climbing their way through the mid and even upper 80s. Patrice?
I'm ready for it. All right, still ahead, look up into the sky. The Blue Angels will be putting on a show this afternoon. We've got a sneak peek coming up. But first, Netflix is rolling out new fees for those who share their passwords. How much you'll be charged if you get caught. And a big night of all-new television tonight. First at 8, it's the season 21 premiere of Master Chef. Then it's at 9, it's the series premiere of Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars. And then stick around for Fox 45 News at 10 and the late edition at 11. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25. Don't miss this. Netflix is laying out how much it's going to crack down on password sharing. It is adding an $8 fee for users who want to share a password with someone outside of their household. Now, Netflix hasn't clarified how it authenticates identities and accounts, but says anyone living within the same household will still be able to stream TV and movies at home, on the go, and on vacation. Time now for your lunch break. If you are out and about in Annapolis, you'll be able to catch the Blue Angels practicing. The Blue Angels are rehearsing ahead of their big flyover at the U.S. Naval Academy's graduation. For drivers in Anne Arundel County, the Naval Academy Bridge will be shut down today from 1:45 until about 4 for the Blue Angels flight demonstration. If you're able to make it out to Annapolis, we want to see it. Send your pictures in. Just scan the QR code on your screen, and that will take you to foxbaltimore.com/chime-in, where you can upload your pictures and videos. It's powered by Stack Club. Well, that's all we have time for today on Fox 45 News Midday. But Be More Lifestyle's up next. We've got Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
Patrice, a woman is being accused of making dates jump through hoops, saying she only goes out on the date with somebody if they write a 500-word essay first. What? Be More Lifestyle. We'll hop into that coming up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
What's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. And Lady T is here.
Hey.
Diva.
Hey, guys. What's up? What's up?
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Let me tell you right now, okay? A woman is setting the bar high when it comes to potential dates. She's making them submit a 500-word essay explaining why they want to date her and how they won't waste her time. Woman says it's an easy way to weed out what you don't want, and she might be onto something. I don't know. What do you think, Amy? Would you... Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, it seems like a lot of work, but I guess you learn a lot from a person on how they write, and, you know, 500 words is a lot. I mean, that's like, how many pages is that? Like 4 pages?
She's right. Honestly, you're actually right, because half of these men can't spell, so we definitely need spelling tests.
Exactly.
We need spelling tests for these applications, boo-boo, okay, because they're not spelling right. They don't know. I went speed dating, and the organizers was like, okay, do you guys know what you want to ask? And I said, yeah, I'm about to give a spelling test. I want everybody to, I want to see, can they read, write, and do arithmetic? That's what I want to know. Because I can't
I don't want no parts of it, because if you got time to do that, you got time to stalk me. You got time to do all kinds of weird stuff. Like,
what?
Yeah, no, really.
They got time to stalk you?
They got time to, if you got time to sit down and write that essay, you got time to stalk me.
But that's the kind of loyalty I'm looking for, though.
I'm not.
I want you to stalk me. I want you,
this girl wants to stalk her.
Be possessive. I want you to love me.
I don't, it seems like I hear women just saying how hard it is to find dates. I don't think writing an essay, that don't seem like that would actually even work.
What do you mean?
They come in my DM and say, hey, big head, and then I'm supposed to say, yeah, let's go out.
When they say, hey, you. I like that when they slide it is. Hey, good morning, beautiful Grand Rising Queen. Yo,
I don't need 500 words or nothing.
Grand Rising Queen.
Amy, it feels good to be out of the game, huh? You know?
I'm just going to hang over.
She's married. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're going to rub her ring for good luck.
Would you write an essay in order to date someone? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody's talking about. Well,
no way.
A lot of attention is focused on the cost of wedding, but just attending the event can carry a high price tag. A new survey finds that, on average, guests are spending more than $600 to go to a wedding. That covers things like travel and hotels, as well as dresses or suits. Wedding gifts alone are averaging $180. Have you spent $600 to go to a wedding?
No, sir, and I will not. If I got to spend $600, I will give you this gift card and wish you all the best.
Right, that's true.
Lady
yeah, no.
For $600, I might as well get up there with you at the altar. We all getting married,
and
okay?
Pay for the husband.
Well. $600, but it does cost that much to go to a wedding, unfortunately. That's the case.
Like you're involved in a lot of weddings.
Listen, I go to a lot of weddings. I get invited. I don't mean to brag, but I'm a social. Apparently, I'm a socialite, is what my friend called me. But no, I love going to weddings. But $600 is a lot. I would say at least half of that.
Amy, did
oh my gosh, I think $600 is low. Like by the time you buy a flight and a dress and a gift, and like I mean, I spent $500 for a flight to a wedding.
It's the gift. It's the gift that keeps giving, and the gift,
hotel room,
the hotel room, the drive, the gas. If you're driving there, the flight, it all adds up.
If I spend that, you're never breaking up. Like I'm going to be in divorce court. Like no, they can't break up.
You better not. I'm going to become the counselor. I am now your therapist.
Even don't go to weddings. Just wait. Now, for many of us, sleep is sacred. But whether you get a full 8 hours or not, most of us always want a little more. So how can we get it? The secret may be ditching the clocks in the bedroom. According to a new study from researchers at Indiana University, paying attention to the time as we're trying to fall asleep can worsen the symptoms of insomnia. Now, Amy, you get up early. Lady T, you get up early.
I get up early.
You have a clock. You need a clock, though, right?
You need a clock, but I do think that's true. If you're like, you know, waking up and being like, oh my gosh, now I only have 4 hours to sleep. Now I only have 3. Like, it's a panic, you know?
Yeah, I would panic.
But you need the clock.
Every morning you wake up, Everybody, you're just screaming every
Lady
second.
T, I'm curious. Let's go into your bedroom. How do you use the clock?
Well, get out my bedroom, first of all. Get out. Step 1, get out my bedroom. Step 2, listen, I am already late, okay? I leave my house late, and you know what? I set my alarm for 4 a.m., so I try to get here by 7. But, you know, it takes us an hour drive to get here. But I don't know. I feel like an alarm is necessary. We're not, I can't give it up.
The way black people, the way black people push snooze, this ad is sponsored by unemployment because it's going to be a lot of people out of work.
I do hit snooze 5 times.
You got to hit it at least 3 or 5. But at least 3.
5 times.
I have a natural clock.
You have a natural.
But I'm naturally late. So
I'm not. You just said I'm naturally late. But I'm naturally late. There you go.
Ladies, excellent as always. We'll see you later in the show. Ray Diva, you're going to be somewhere Friday,
Murphy
right?
Fine Arts Theater, Morgan State University, a great comedy show featuring myself, Cleon, a comedian. Come out and laugh with us.
That's going to be lit. That's going to be lit.
Thanks again. Now, coming up, we'll show you how an organization has been serving the community for more than 2 decades. And we'll talk about a new self-care and skincare line that is a tool at home that you can use coming up to make you feel younger. Don't we want to feel younger? Stick around. It's coming up.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
In today's edition of America's Steals and Deals, Genevieve Gorda brings back one of her favorite skincare products. She'll explain why it's great for men and women.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
I'm so excited to bring back one of our top sellers, one of our very top sellers, the Solar Wave. Now, this little device, so good. This little device uses red light therapy, warmth and massage, as well as microcurrent to stimulate your skin to improve those fine lines, wrinkles, and tighten everything. All I can say, we see a ton of products. People send us everything, and we found this superstar just for you. I know the beauty space is really overwhelming. So we did all the work for you. We curated this product. The before and afters speak for themselves. And it's not only great for your face, but it's also great for your neck and your chest areas. And these are areas we often ignore. All you have to do, just wait for it, is use it for 5 minutes a day. That's it. And you will start to see results. You just have to roll it over your face. That's it. I keep it right by my nightstand. You can feel it working on your skin, the tightening, absolutely relaxing. It just feels good. Now, we all love finding at-home beauty tools that we can use without going to the spa and spending all that extra money or all that extra time. We're offering 33% off the Solar Wave. I would advise all of you to buy this now because it's not going to last. Go to asadeals.com.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Demore Personal Injury Law Firm.
Abuse cases in religious institutions have recently made headlines in Baltimore. Survivors who have yet to come forward may be considering their options for compensation. Paul Demore, Lindsay Summers, and David Herrick, Esquire, join us to share how these survivors can seek legal recourse. So, welcome to the show, Paul. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. So, what made you decide to pursue these cases?
Well, when I first started to research this new law and saw that this opportunity had been granted to these folks, I thought this was an area that fit well with what we try to do at Demore Personal Injury Law. But then I realized I didn't know enough about these cases. I didn't know enough about what these people were going through. Handling these cases for these people could almost be more detrimental to them if it's not done the right way. There's a high risk of re-traumatization when you're dealing with these folks in getting them to tell their stories. And so I said, I need to bring in a team of people to help me with this. And we're fortunate enough to have a couple of those people here with us today.
Well, tell us about the people that you brought in. I know we have David and we have Lindsay here, right?
Well, yeah, so Lindsay is a trauma therapist. Lindsay just blew me away with her background and her training and her knowledge and her desire to understand the interplay between the legal process and therapeutic process for these folks. And she could tell you more about that. I mean,
Okay.
She's the expert, so.
So, Lindsay, tell us about, what is trauma-informed care and how does that translate into legal representation?
I think there are a few different ways to view trauma-informed care, but the thing that we can all agree on is that you need to understand how trauma impacts the brain and how trauma symptoms might show up and how retelling a story, if you're not properly supported or if you don't have coping skills, if you don't feel safe, can actually make your brain think that you're back in that traumatic situation. And so having that understanding to inform the work is so important. And understanding how the power dynamics of relational trauma operate and working to be in solidarity and empower survivors through building trust, sharing information, practicing consent, and creating safety.
And so, Paul, you mentioned you also brought in David.
I did, because he has experience handling sexual abuse cases. And I said, well, this is the perfect lawyer to help me help our clients. And David can tell you more about what he's done in the past and what he brings to the table.
Please do that, David.
It's such a courageous step to take that first step and talk to someone. Many times it's the first time anyone's ever talked to anyone at all about this. And if it's done with the proper support to make sure that they don't suffer a re-injury, it can be an extremely empowering experience. You've got perpetrators who've gotten away with this for years and years and years, and now this person, by speaking up, has a chance to hold that perpetrator accountable. But more importantly, normally in cases I can make a profound difference for one person. But a lot of times in these cases, we can affect real change. And I've been involved in cases where it changed the policy of a state and how to handle something so that other people wouldn't get traumatized and be have the same thing happen to them. And that's what's so unique about these cases, is that it's the power that it brings to the person who's been surviving for so long. They get a chance to fight back through us, and it's such an amazing opportunity.
And so, Paul, you've assembled an amazing team. So, talk to us about the cost, if there's a cost, and if someone's watching and they need your help, how do they reach you?
Well, you can reach us at 410-324-2000. You can also visit the website, www.needjustice.com. There's never a cost. There's never any out-of-pocket costs, especially to talk to us. But if we do take your case, it's always on a contingency fee. You've seen we don't make any money unless we win. We're handling these cases the same way. And in addition, if you visit the website, we are going to be giving people a free copy of this book if they want. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. It's an amazing book. It's incredibly informative. And if you don't do anything else, please register for a free copy of the book, because it is very, very helpful just in and of itself. If you are a survivor, or if you know a survivor and want to try to get a better understanding, this is where you start.
Well, Paul, thanks again. Amazing team. Thanks again for this great information.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
For over 20 years, this organization has been serving the community. We're joined now by BCYF President Alicia Lee, Jack Burton, and Christopher Jones. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you so much. We're so happy to be here.
So tell us, what is the organization? I know. I think I jacked up the letters.
Hey.
BCYF.
And they all rhyme.
That's
some
right.
of them,
What is the organization?
So the Baltimore Children and Youth Fund is a nonprofit organization in Baltimore that's responsible for stewarding public dollars, so taxpayer dollars from folks like you and me, into the hands of organizations that are serving young people. And we voted for the fund. 80% of Baltimore City voted for the fund in 2018, and it allows Baltimore to really brand itself as an organization, as a city, right, that supports young people. So it's an opportunity for us to make sure that young people have the resources that they need, and programs like Tenderbridge are some of those resources, folks who are shepherding and working with young people to really live out their interests and meet their greatest potential.
And so, Alicia, I mentioned, so you guys have been around for 2 years.
So BCYF has been around for 4 years. We've dispersed about $18 million into the community, and Tenderbridge is one of our incredible grantees.
And they've been around for like 20 years.
I know, yeah, 20 years doing the major work.
Tell us about Tenderbridge.
Yeah, so Tenderbridge is based in East Baltimore. We work in some of the highest violence neighborhoods in our city. We use hockey and some other sports, but primarily ice hockey, as a vehicle to connect kids to other opportunities and try to drive them from adolescence through young adulthood and kind of steer them on the path to success as they define it.
And you really, I mean, you're working with these young people all the time. We hear so many terrible stories, but you guys have amazing winning stories. You know, what's been the key, to the success, do you think?
I think it's the people. It's the kids. Hockey is a great vehicle because you can build a team around that. It's a differentiator. So, Chris walks around his neighborhood with pride. He can say, I play for the Banners hockey team.
That's Christopher right there. So, Chris, tell us, why do you like the program and why do you think it's successful?
I like the program because, as Jack said, they go around high violence neighborhoods, technically where I live at, and give kids a chance to play a sport they never thought they would play.
Wow, Alicia, look at this. Come on now.
It's incredible.
They're killing it. You guys are killing it.
And these stories, there's stories like this all throughout Baltimore. For decades, organizations and people have been working to support young people to really explore their interests.
So, Alicia, what do you need for us as we wrap things up? What do you need for us and how can people follow?
Absolutely. So if you'll follow bcyfund.org, you can donate to support programs like Tenderbridge and be a part and look forward to this August. We'll be announcing 45 new grantees, new organizations that'll be joining us. So we're really excited to be able to support this work.
And you're going to come back and see me?
Let's do it.
Okay,
we'll be back in August.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, okay?
Thank you, Mark.
All right, now it's time for your best weather in America with Amy Aronson.
Yeah, let's head to the beach. Why not? It looks quiet now leading into the holiday weekend. The beach is the place to be. I see a few folks out there. It looks like maybe like 4 enjoying the sunshine today. Unfortunately, it's not going to stay like this getting into the weekend. So the weekend we are tracking some changes, and the changes don't look as pretty as what we're seeing right now. So it's sunny, it's warm right now, but changes are coming, and that means we're not only tracking a cool down, but we're also tracking, some showers. Saturday looks like the driest out of the 3. It's going to be cool and cloudy with highs in the low 60s at that point. We are tracking some scattered showers in Ocean City Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the mid and upper 70s both days. And water temperatures, a little chilly still, hanging out in the low 60s. If you're staying here at home, it's actually going to be warmer, upper 70s both Saturday and Sunday, with a few showers showing up starting on Sunday. By Memorial Day, warmer, and a few showers will linger. We're close to 80 degrees for the holiday. Right now, we're in great shape. 70 degrees currently with a mix of clouds and sun. Looking beautiful today, actually for the rest of the work week. We've got this little cold front that's dropping in from the north here. Not going to send us really any precipitation. It will send us some temperature changes, though, for the second half of the week. So today's going to be another warm one with highs well into the 80s. But as this front passes through, some clouds, possibly a shower tonight. But I don't think you're even going to notice it coming through. Instead, you will notice a cool down coming for us as we get into the weekend, along with that rain chance. So we are back in the 70s starting tomorrow. We'll stay there all the way through the holiday weekend. We're back into the 80s, though, by the holiday and by early next week. Back to you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Shepherd Pratt.
In these times, one may find that life is passing them by and leaving them feeling helpless. Dr. Jeff LaPratt from Shepherd Pratt joins us to share how the practice of mindfulness can help us get back our grip on life. Welcome, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Great. So what is mindfulness?
Mindfulness is a great set of skills that can really help us to increase and build our levels of awareness and control over some of our automatic processes, like our thoughts and our emotions that are greatly impacted by conditions like depression, anxiety, trauma disorders, just to name a few. And mindfulness can really help teach us ways in which we can relate and to experience our thoughts and emotions, to really help us and can alleviate some of the symptoms rather than having to resort to some things like fighting, avoidance, and suppression, which we know makes matters worse.
And what are some examples of ways we can implement mindfulness practices into our daily lives?
Yeah, the great thing about mindfulness is we don't actually have to add anything to what may be an already really busy schedule. So we can actually look for some things in our daily routines that we may do quite mindlessly, without thinking and multitasking and thinking about other things, such as brushing our teeth, drinking coffee, cooking dinner, going for a walk, or simply just breathing. But we can practice these in ways of mindful observing, to where we're trying to let go of some of the labels and descriptions and just bring our entire focus and attention to our sensations. What do we see, hear, smell, taste, feel? And every time we find ourselves getting distracted, bringing our attention back to just doing that one thing in the moment.
Doc, what tips can you share for someone who's interested in practicing mindfulness for the first time? This is interesting because I've always wanted to try it. Give me a tip.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things to remember here when practicing mindfulness, especially if it's your first time, is to, one, develop a daily practice, something that you can do, such as brushing your teeth, when our emotions are not very high, right? So we want to get some of the practice there so that when we do need them the most, they'll be more accessible and ready for us. And another tip is when we start to practice mindfulness, there's a mindfulness skill called effectiveness, of letting go of the outcome. So if you're practicing and trying to bring your full focus to wordless watching and just noticing through your sensations, if you find you can only do this for a couple seconds, that is absolutely okay and a really great place to start.
Doc, as we wrap things up, where can we go to get more information?
Yeah, you can find us on our Shepherd Pratt website, shepherdpratt.org, or find us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Still ahead, is it smart thinking or jumping through hoops? Coming up, the new rule one woman is setting for potential dates. Stick around.